7th story of the day today, and it is one of Mrs. Astor's storybooks today, and it is called The Runaway Dinner. Now, I've never read this one before, so I'm going on the journey with you. It is by Allan Ahlberg and Bruce Ingman, and the very short blurb says, "The race is on, but who's the winner? A hungry boy or his runaway dinner?" It's very intriguing. There once was a boy, Banjo, his name was. Yes, Banjo Cannon. Well, he was a little boy. This boy lived in a house, slept in a bed, wore all the usual sorts of clothes, socks and scarves and such, loved his cat, named Mildred, and his mum and dad, named Mr. and Mrs., and every day, summer or winter, rain or shine, had a sausage for his dinner. On his own little plate, with his own little knife and fork and salt cellar and ketchup pot, at his own little table with his own little chair. Yes, a sausage for his dinner. Now here's the exciting bit, the unbelievable bit, though it is all true. One sunny summer's day, just as Banjo, with his knife in one hand and his fork in the other, was leaning forward and smiling happily at the thought of eating his dinner, the sausage, Melvin his name was, jumped. Yes, jumped. Right up off the plate and ran away. Well then, of course, as you might expect, the fork ran after the sausage, the knife ran after the fork, the plate ran after the knife, the little table and the little chair ran after the plate, and Banjo, that hungry little boy, ran after all of them. Actually, if you want the whole truth, he ran after a few others as well. You see, Banjo did not only have a sausage on his plate. That would be silly, wouldn't it? Just a sausage, one measly little sausage for a hungry boy's dinner? No, Banjo also had 3 fat peas, 4 baby carrots, and a handful of fries. Yes, and the thing is, of course, they were all on the plate as well. And when Melvin ran off, they, as you might expect, followed him. The peas, as it happened, were all boys, Peter, Percival and Paul, and the carrots, all girls, Caroline, Clara, Camilla and Christabel. As for the fries, well, there really were too many to name all of them. Though being French, of course, they had names like Francois, Fifi, and so forth. So that's it, the absolute truth, the complete picture. See? Here they are, the whole lot of them, not forgetting Mildred the cat, and Mr. and Mrs. and Bruce, the next door neighbour's dog. Nearly did forget him, though he was chasing Mildred, actually, all racing down the road. Well, the first thing that happened was the carrots, all 4 of them, escaped by hiding in a paper bag. Bruce chased Mildred up a tree and a pigeon ate Percival. Melvin, meanwhile, was running strongly on his 2 little legs. He came to a pedestrian crossing, waited for the green light, crossed the road and ran into the park. The next thing that happened was Mr. and Mrs. bought 3 ice creams. A couple of the French fries escaped by sailing away in a toy boat. Au revoir, bon voyage, hurrah! And a duck ate Paul. Banjo, meanwhile, was running strongly on his 2 little legs, and the chair and the table were both running strongly on their 4 little legs. Actually, that's not entirely true. The little chair in particular was quite unfit, quite out of puff. He had to stop and have a rest for a while. Only then an old lady came along and sat on him. She was out of puff too. So then, of course, the little chair was stuck there for a time. Melvin, meanwhile, was still racing away, with the knife and fork close behind, and the little plate, and Mr. and Mrs., and so forth. Presently, a picnicking family spotted the fork, and the knife too, and grabbed them. At the same time, a boiled egg named Billy saw what was going on, and, in the confusion, ran off himself. A couple of little girls who were skipping on the grass spotted the plate and grabbed her. She was a girl plate, Saskia her name was, and started using her as a frisbee, which, as it turned out, whee! The little plate much enjoyed. Well, now, there was a pond in the park. That's where the toy boat was sailing, and Melvin ran round it. And there was a cricket pitch, and Melvin ran round that. The rest of the French fries stopped here and sat down to watch the cricket, actually, and nobody noticed them. By this time, the sunny summer's day was coming to an end, and almost everybody was out of puff. Melvin, that sturdy little sausage, slowed to a stroll, to a dawdle, and finally stopped altogether. Whereupon along came Banjo, that hungry little boy, and, oh dear, ate him. Love that little egg. Well, nearly. He would have done. He really would. Only just then along came his hot and bothered poor old mum. No, no, she cried. Don't eat that. Meaning Melvin. Don't eat that. It's been on the floor. The next thing that happened was Melvin seized his chance, ran off again and hid in the long grass, where, as it turned out, at that very moment, the cricket ball, named Rupert, was also hiding. Meanwhile, the athletic little table, urged on by the salt cellar and ketchup pot, was still racing along. His style was much admired by a number of park benches. On the other hand, Peter, the last of the peas, remember him? Had well and truly disappeared. It was a mystery. He had to be there somewhere. Yes, take a look if you like. See if you can spot him. It was a sunny summer's evening. Home went Banjo, carried high on the shoulders of his poor old dad and his poor old mum. Bruce, the next door neighbour's dog, went home too, and down the tree came Mildred. So there we are. That's the story. Full of such fun, don't you agree? And exciting stuff. Yes. Of course, poor little Banjo is still hungry, hungrier than ever, in fact. Luckily, help is at hand. You see, every day, or evening, rain or shine, summer or winter, after his dinner, Banjo has a plum pie for his pudding. In his own little bowl, with his own little spoon, and his own little jug of custard. Yes, a plum pie. A plum pie. Named Joyce on this particular occasion, for his pudding. So that's all right, isn't it? The end. I will take a photo of the page where the pea is hiding so that you can all pause it and have a look and see if you can find the last pea. Hi, pause now. But I thoroughly enjoyed that story, so I hope you did too. And I shall see you tomorrow for another story time. And I hope you are all well and taking care of each other. Missing you all.